we have two sessions on parallel. One is the CEO double interview. So you have two CEOs sharing thoughts about Lean, and Oriol Patricasas is going to moderate that. Then you also have Towards Lean 5.0, a conceptual framework and empirical insights from the fashion industry. And here on the main stage, I would like to welcome Nicola Benazzi and Simona Palange from Pomellato in Italy. Buongiorno, ciao. And Matteo Consagra, who is going to moderate them. He's from the Lean Management Institute in Italy. You guys are going to be talking to us about when luxury meets lean, so lean manufacturing for adaptive and conscious craftsmanship. Thank you very much. The floor is yours. I'll see you in half an hour. Thank you.
Grazie, Roberto. First of all, I want to thank Nicola and Simona to be here. We started working together some months ago, less than 1 year, and it's very nice the work we are doing, because it's something, let me say, a little bit at the frontier of lean, because we are applying the same concept in an environment that is completely different from the mass production, let me say, or production in series. And they will describe the journey we are doing, starting from actually a couple of years before our first meeting. And at the end, I want to share with you some little secrets about the way we did the coaching and our meeting, and their first reaction when we start working together, and their reaction and their mood at the end of in this period, at least, when we start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel that was very dark at the beginning. So I don't want to spend more time. I know you introduce yourself, so it's all for you.
Thank you, Matteo, and good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining our presentation today. Just a few words before start our presentation. In today's world, the thing moves fast, and the ability to adapt while always looking for ways to improve, I think that it's not important, but it's essential. So we believe that our project and our presentation is the reflection of this mindset. I advance that that will be a more qualitative than quantitative presentation, so we are not able to share all of our results, but of course you can find some important lesson, I think. So let's start. Let's get started. Before, a few words on our brand. Pomellato is a jewelry brand founded in Milan in 1967 from Pino Rambolini, and is a part of the Kering Group since 2013. Pomellato describe adapted horse in Italian, and the name came from the founder's love for the equestrian works. Pino Rambolini is famous because he's the first one that introduced the concept of the pret-à-porter jewelry. And in terms of client, the main client in Pomellato are emancipated women, so careers manager that buy themselves jewels. So the figure of the woman, it's really central in our company. Pomellato is not just made in Milan, but is embodies in Milan, and the brand reflects the city, and it draws inspiration from the city architecture. For example, our linea iconica reflects the shape and the architecture of the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele. Our Nudo collection, that it's our bestseller. The stones reflects the interiors on the Milanese design, and our Sabbia collection reflects the texture stone that you can find around the city. So let's start it with our story. In the past 6 years, Pomellato has seen a significant increase in its production volume. We speak about plus 49%. And this impressive growth has been driven by a strategic focus on brand elevation. However, with success comes also the need to adapt and support the growth effectively. This means for us investing in our people, optimizing and improve our processes. So the main three pillars in our strategy, but also our goal, but also our goal are in the slide. So behind each of these pillars, there is a clear number that we are not able to share. Let's start with the most important one, the people. And with the people, I mean put the people at the center in the organization in terms of preserve and bring our craftsmanship to the top. Of course, we want to do with efficiency. We want to do with this with efficiency, and another pillar really important. It's really linked with our customers, the service level and the time to market reduction in order to serve our client in the best way. So in order to pursue the strategy and the goal in 2023, Pomellato decided to embrace the lean in terms of approach as a ways of working. Before me and Simona and the rest of the team, the company worked with a consultancy firm in order to change its ways of working and production organization. We moved from a production department to production island, and that means for us reorganize all the goldsmith workbench and machinery in our factory in order to realize all the steps in the same area, from assembly to finishing. We do this in order to remove all the interoperational control between each production phase. We did this more or less in 1 month and a half during the summer break. Of course, we also increase our capacity in terms of workforce, and we find the space, we increase the space, relocate the quality control and other non-product activity away from the manufacturing site. So with the factory organization, in terms of layout, we reorganize also our internal structure in order to cover all our flows and serve our customer in the best way. So currently we are organized like this. We have 2 main production islands, amethyst and topaz, with a different logic behind. The amethyst, we produce consolidated product with high rotation, and the topaz is dedicated to new production and more complex products with low volume. Then we have 1 island dedicated to the high jewelry, and with high jewelry I mean a unique pieces collection. For example, the jewels that you can see on the red carpet in Cannes or during the Venetian Film Festival. Then the industrialization really linked with our technical department for the new production, and the after-sales services in order to serve our customer after the sale for small repairs. So all of our islands are independent and are supported by auxiliary function. For example, the melting for the gold, for the precious metal, lean and process engineering, and the planning and material handling. Before the work, as the theory teaches us, we test the new layout and the new process for the Amethyst Island. We tested this for 3 months, and immediately we got important results in terms of lead time reduction and also quality. Just to share you a number in terms of lead time, we pass from 70 days to 20 days in terms of lead time. And also in terms of people, the new configuration requires that people work more together than before, and this is increased the teamwork and people accountability in terms of team results and not individual results. So the story now changed a little bit. We were happy with our new factory, and immediately the 2024 faced us new challenges that completely changed what we were used to. In terms of mix in terms of volume and mix, we see exponential growth of eye jewelry and high-end eye jewelry products, with a greater fragmentation of the other lines, with the exception of the nude line. And that's currently we manage the eye jewelry and the high-end eye jewelry just in one island I showed you before. And this means for us in terms of craftsmanship, that we need to internalize more production in order to maintain a specific know-how on our products and be more responsive to the market change. So I give the floor to Simona, and we will deep dive in the heart of the presentation and what we do in order to respond to this market change, in order to adapt to the new market condition. Simona?
Thanks, Nicola, and good morning, everyone. As Nicola said, despite the change in terms of volume, Nudo collection remain our bestseller collection over the years. That's why that we choose one product in this collection, that is the Nudo ring in this slide, and we choose it as a starting point for our continuous improvement journey. The project that was called the Naked Project was done with an 8-thread method. So at the beginning of the project, we had to clarify the background. In particular, Pomellato in 2023 was able to internalize only the 17% of this product in our internal production. In order to internalize more volume, we set a goal for the current year, for 2024, up to the 25%, while for the next year, 2025, the goal is set up to the 50% of the total volume for the product in analysis. After this understanding of the background, the next step was to understand the current condition in which the product was made. In this phase, it was very useful to use a value stream map in order to identify all the wastes or muda that were present in our process. Then, after identifying the problems and wastes, we have done a root cause analysis using an Ishikawa diagram, and we were able to pass from the value stream map as is to the value stream map to be. In order to pass from that is to the to be, we have done an action plan, and thanks to the collaboration of all our departments and above all of our teams in the production, we were able to complete all the action and to have outstanding results in reducing wastes in our process. In particular, the pilot test lasts for 2 weeks, involving 500 rings, and we were able to complete all the production with great results in terms of service level, quality, and also lead time. In particular, regarding the lead time, we were able to produce a ring in only 6 hours, despite the 2 or 3 days of the previous configuration. After analyzing the easier product of our production, we tried to extend our analysis to all the volumes. In particular, we create the matrix product process, that is the table reported here. In the table are present in the row all the production cycles of our production, while in the columns are present all the phases of the cycles. If a cell is colored in green, the phase is present in the cycle. On the other end, if it's colored in red, the phase is not present. As you can see, this matrix seems to be very complex. Moreover, because there isn't an unequivocal correspondence between the various production cycles, and this is due to the fact that each product could have a different surface treatment. It was very difficult in this phase also to identify product families. So we decided to pass from the configuration of the matrix process product to a matrix made with the concept of spaghetti chart. We create this map in which each box represents a phase of the cycle, while each color of the line represents a different production cycles. As you can see, this map is more visual and helped us to identify the outlier in the linear flow of the process. Despite we passed from a matrix, a table, from a map, the situation seems to be still very complex. So at this point of our analysis, we decided to manage our complexity with a simplification phase. We decided to remove the cycles with the outlier from the linear flow, and then to remove also the cycles with more than 5 phases, because the most common cycles of our production are composed only by 5 phases that are to assembly, stone setting if stones are present in the jewels, and then 2 polishing phases. Moreover, we also start to evaluate new type of technologies for the surface treatments. In particular, we are searching for machine with one-piece flow and not batch flows, because in our production we are currently using batches. At this point, after the simplification phase, we get some benefit. The flow now results to be more linear and less articulate, and at this point we were finally ready to create classes or family of products. For the split into classes, we decided to use a 2-digit rules. The first digit represents the volume in percentage, so how many pieces of each product out of the total pieces of the production, while the second digit represents the time in percentage, in particular the total cycle time of each product out of the total production time. The digit could be an A, a B, or C. In case of the A, the A represents the 80%, while the B the 15%, and the C the remaining 5%. Returning to the example of the product of the A3 project, the product in analysis was in the family class AA, because it has a lot of volume in our production, and at the same time it covers long time in our production. On the other end, a CC product, like the chain in the picture, is one with less volume and that covers short time in our production. At this point, after the split into classes, we tried to imagine the resulting new layout. We take all the new families and divided them into production islands. We represented the island with the post-it to make it more visual and also to visualize the new flow. Then we started to play with the order of the post-it to pass to a configuration similar to a U cell. At this point, we get the final configuration that is on the right and has the most linear flow that we were able to obtain. It also has the right amount of FTA that are necessary for the production of all the volumes. Then, in order to level the production, because as you may know, a giunca is on the bottom of the house of lean, we would like to start to work in our production, as I said before, with one-piece flow and not in batches. So the following step was, after the creation of the new configuration, was the definition of the pitch. For each product reported in the table, we can see its family class, the percentage of volumes for each product, and how many pieces we have to put into production and in which sequence. For example, taking into consideration always the same product of the A3 project, our bestseller, after 3 sequences of 3 pieces each, on the first sequence we have to put into production only 2 pieces, and so on for the sequences. Now, in the latest week, we are still working on theory and on number basis, and we are going to do a robustness test. In particular, we want to stress the final configuration and the final system that we get, not only with our products and our volume, but on theoretical basis, also with products from our main competitors, in order to understand all the pros and the cons of our configuration. At the beginning of 2025, we also want to test in reality, not only in theory, our new configuration, and we are going to use also a giunca board in the production island in order to have also the visual part helping us.
Okay, we are more or less at the end of our presentation. So just a quick recap on what we see. The 2023 marked a pivotal moment for us, and it was the year where we took a significant leap forward by establishing a stable layout, and this layout has served us as a foundation. A necessary step to bring structure and efficiency in our process. However, as we moved into 2024, we quickly realized that the world around us was changing, and this year was a turning point for us and requiring us to revisit and question many of our assumptions. Looking ahead for the following years, the focus will shift towards the continuous improvement throughout the application of the PDCA cycle. Our aim is to embed flexibility in our operation without compromising the stability. So, in a nutshell, this is our vision for growth, a journey that balances the stability of fixed structure with adaptability of flexible processes, ensuring success in an ever-evolving environment. So, at the end, we would like to share some results that we are able to share in terms of service level and lead time. So, as you can see in these two graphs, we started with a service level in Q1 2023 with 39%, and we reached with the contribution of all this year, in the Q3 of this year, the 99.7%. So I think that it's really an outstanding results. And in terms of lead time, as shown before during the test phase before the new configuration, we start with 70 days in Q1 2023, and we got an average of 20 days in this current year. So I'd like to express my deepest appreciation for your attention throughout this presentation and our journey towards balancing fixed and flexible production is not just about adapting a process, but also about fostering collaboration, innovation, and of course, also resilience. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some questions, Nicola and Simona. I think the first one you have already answered, that was what are the main pillars defining your luxury manufacturing strategy? That was what you show with the stairs moving up and the different PDCA cycle. The second one is about what are your value-added activities? So I think what you do actually in Pomellato, in the shop floor. What are the main steps, the main production phase?
So the main production phase, usually we start with assembly. So our flow is really a manual flow. There is no machine in our process. There is no turning machine or something like this, only a surface treatment. So we usually start with one assembly phase by our goldsmiths. In the middle, we have one polish, usually did by hand. Then, if it's required, if in the jewelry there is a stone, we have the stone setting where we put the stone, the diamond in our jewels, diamond or colored gemstone. Then, usually another assembly, for example, for the chain. And then the finished the final polishing.
Okay.
So then with the quality control and the product if it will be okay.
Okay, we have several questions and just 3 minutes, so I will go really fast through to the question. Why volume instead of frequency? If you want, I can answer myself. It's because the Pomellato doesn't serve directly the final customer, but a supply chain then deliver the products to the different shops. So the order are made monthly, if I remember well, monthly, yes.
Correct.
Correct.
How many finished products we are talking about, and how many are handled in production? How many finished products, I think, in terms of variety and quantity per variety, more or less?
In our production, we have different collection and particularly 60 production cycle, but for each cycle production, we can have more than one product because each product could be different just for the color of the stone. So it's a very big variety.
Yeah.
Okay. There are a couple of questions about if we are planning, or if you are planning to do a pilot and not risking to do all in the transformation.
Just to follow always the theory. So before start, we think that is important test. So we recreate an island and we put all the people inside in order to work together and test our process. So it's not so easy for us because the people in our before of our transformation usually work alone. They are sitting our bench and work alone, really focus on our jewels. So for us, this is also a cultural change.
Okay, in fact, another question is about the feedbacks from operator and mindset.
At the beginning, it was very difficult, but now we are on the good.
Yeah. At the beginning, it was very difficult because we closed the production for 1 month and a half, and when they come after the summer break, they found a new configuration, new layout. So where I am, this is the first reaction.
But now we want to manage the transformation in a different way. Roberto is pushing us, so I don't know if I have time for one more question or not.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, but I appreciate your time. It was very interesting. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Say hello to Italy for me, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much, guys.
Ciao, grazie a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao.